Welcome back, everyone, to today's exploration of a topic that's as rich as it is complex: Islam in India. Did you know that the roots of Islam in this vibrant subcontinent stretch back over a millennium? From its arrival via trade routes to becoming one of the most significant cultural and religious threads woven into India's diverse tapestry, the story of Muslims in India is nothing short of fascinating. But here's a question for you. When you think of Indian culture, do you immediately picture the Taj Mahal or savor the flavors of biryani? Both are iconic contributions from the Muslim population in India, yet their influence goes far beyond just architecture and food. Today we'll unpack how this community has shaped and continues to shape India's identity while navigating challenges along the way. Historical context. To truly understand the role of Muslims in India, we need to rewind the clock a bit. Imagine bustling ports where Arab traders first introduced Islam around the 7th century. These early connections weren't just about commerce. They laid the groundwork for centuries of exchange, ideas, traditions, even languages. Fast forward to the 12th century, and we see the rise of powerful dynasties like the Delhi Sultanate. Later came the Mughals, whose legacy still dazzles us through monuments like the Red Fort and Humayun's tomb. Now let me ask you something. What happens when two great civilizations meet?
You get syncretism, a blending of cultures.
During much of India's history, Hindus and Muslims lived side by side, sharing spaces, festivals, and philosophies. Sufi saints played a pivotal role here, preaching love and unity, which resonated deeply across faith lines. It wasn't always smooth sailing, but these periods remind us that coexistence is possible, even amidst differences. For instance, Emperor Akbar's policy of sulh-i-kul, universal peace, was a groundbreaking attempt at fostering harmony between religions. He abolished the jizya tax on non-Muslims and encouraged interfaith marriages within his court. Such examples show that leadership can set the tone for societal attitudes. If you're enjoying this journey so far, don't forget to like and share this video. Your support helps us share these incredible stories with a global audience. Now back to the show. Demographics and growth. So, how does all this history translate into numbers today? Well, brace yourself, because the Muslim population in India is currently estimated at over 200 million people. That makes it the largest Muslim minority in any country worldwide. And guess what? They're spread across every corner of the nation. States like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and Kerala have some of the highest concentrations. Why such growth? Several factors are at play. For starters, higher birth rates among Muslims in India contribute significantly. Then there's migration, both internal and external, and yes, occasional conversions too. But here's an interesting thought. Why does demographic change often spark debate? Is it fear of the unknown, or something deeper? Let's break it down further. According to census data, the Muslim population in India grew by approximately 24% between 2001 and 2011, compared to the national average of 17%. While some attribute this to socioeconomic factors, others point to systemic inequalities that limit access to family planning resources. Regardless of interpretation, understanding these dynamics is crucial for addressing misconceptions and fostering informed discussions. Cultural contributions. Let's lighten things up a bit now and talk about the good stuff, the incredible cultural gifts that Muslims in India have given us. Ever stood awestruck before the Taj Mahal? That masterpiece wasn't just built by artisans. It was crafted with passion, poetry, and precision. Or consider the towering Qutub Minar, another architectural gem that draws millions annually. And oh, the cuisine. Can anyone resist the aroma of kebabs or the creamy richness of kheer? Food isn't the only domain either. Urdu poetry, Qawwali music, intricate miniature paintings, all bear the unmistakable imprint of Islamic artistry. Even festivals like Eid and Muharram are celebrated alongside Diwali and Holi, showcasing India's unique blend of traditions. Tell me honestly, doesn't your mouth water thinking about samosas right now? Beyond tangible contributions, there's also the intangible impact on language. Words like kush, happy, shukriya, thank you, and jungle entered Hindi and English vocabularies thanks to Persian and Arabic influences brought by Muslims in India. Isn't it remarkable how language itself becomes a bridge between cultures? If you're enjoying this video and want to support the channel, consider shopping through our affiliate links in the description. It won't cost you anything extra, but it helps us cover the costs of creating more great content for you. Thank you. Contemporary challenges, but not everything is rosy, unfortunately. In recent years, tensions have simmered, and sometimes boiled over, for Muslims in India. Citizenship laws, like the controversial CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, have sparked heated debates about identity and belonging. Critics argue that these policies disproportionately affect Muslims, raising questions about equality under the law. Then there's the issue of communal violence. Riots and discrimination aren't new, but they remain deeply troubling. Why does this keep happening? Is it political manipulation, historical grievances, or something else entirely? Whatever the reasons, one thing is clear. Finding solutions requires empathy and understanding, not more division. Consider the protests against the CAA in late 2019 and early 2020. Thousands took to the streets, not just Muslims but allies from various communities, demanding justice and inclusivity. Movements like Shaheen Bagh became symbols of resilience and solidarity. What lessons can we draw from these moments of collective action? Economic and educational landscape. Now let's shift gears slightly and look at the socioeconomic realities facing Muslims in India. Despite being a sizable chunk of the population, studies show that many lag behind in terms of education and employment. Access to quality schooling remains uneven, especially in rural areas. Entrepreneurship, however, offers a glimmer of hope. Small businesses run by Muslims are thriving in sectors like textiles, handicrafts, and tech startups. The government has launched initiatives like scholarships and skill development programs aimed at uplifting marginalized groups, including Muslims in India. Community-led efforts also deserve applause, whether it's NGOs promoting literacy or mentorship networks guiding young professionals. Still, there's work to be done. How can we ensure equal opportunities for all? A report by the Sachar Committee highlighted stark disparities in educational attainment and economic participation among Muslims in India. Addressing these gaps isn't just morally imperative, it's economically beneficial. When everyone thrives, society as a whole prospers. Interfaith relations. On a brighter note, stories of harmony abound if you know where to look. Take grassroots organizations fostering interfaith dialogue. They bring together Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, and others to celebrate shared values. Initiatives like Harmony Foundation host events encouraging mutual respect and collaboration. Media plays a double-edged role here. While sensational headlines can inflame tensions, responsible journalism can bridge divides. Think about it. What if every news outlet highlighted acts of kindness instead of conflict? Grassroots movements prove that peace is possible. It just takes effort from all sides. One inspiring example is the annual Milap Festival, where artists from different faiths perform together, blending classical Hindustani and Carnatic music with Sufi qawwalis. Such collaborations remind us that creativity knows no boundaries, much like humanity itself. Youth and modernity. Speaking of effort, let's turn our attention to the younger generation. Young Muslims in India are redefining what it means to balance tradition with modernity. Entertainment, shout out to Irfan Khan, and technology, startups galore. Social media has become their megaphone, amplifying voices that might otherwise go unheard. Have you noticed how platforms like Instagram and YouTube showcase diverse narratives? Whether it's vlogs on Ramadan routines or podcasts discussing faith in the workplace, youth activism is reshaping perceptions, one post at a time. What role do you think digital tools will play in shaping the future? Global connections. While local issues dominate headlines, don't forget that Muslims in India are part of a global ummah. The diaspora connects them to communities worldwide, influencing everything from religious practices to political views. International events, like conflicts in the Middle East or diplomatic ties with Gulf nations, ripple locally too. Balancing local identity with broader Islamic customs can be tricky, though. Do you prioritize regional traditions or align closely with global norms? It's a dance of adaptation, one that reflects the adaptability of Muslims in India themselves. For example, Hajj pilgrimages allow Indians to connect with fellow believers globally, reinforcing a sense of unity. At the same time, local customs like celebrating Urz festivals honor indigenous spiritual practices. This duality enriches both personal identities and community bonds. Looking ahead, as we wrap up, let's gaze toward the horizon. What steps can foster inclusivity and reduce tensions for Muslims in India? Policy reforms addressing systemic biases would be a start. Encouraging open dialogue between communities could build trust. And above all, cultivating mutual respect is key. Not just tolerance, but genuine appreciation for diversity. The aspirations of the Muslim population in India mirror those of any group. Safety, dignity, opportunity. Within India's multicultural framework, these dreams are achievable, but only if everyone works together. So, what kind of India do you want to help create? To recap, we've journeyed through the long-standing presence of Islam in India, admired its breathtaking contributions, grappled with contemporary challenges, and glimpsed hopeful futures. The takeaway: understanding breeds connection. Misunderstandings breed division. We encourage each of you to continue learning about the Muslims in India and their remarkable story. Keep asking questions, stay curious, and approach conversations with an open mind. After all, knowledge is the first step toward building bridges. Thank you for joining us today. Have a blessed rest of your week. The journey doesn't end here. Subscribe now and be part of our next great adventure. For more breathtaking travel stories and captivating animations, explore our other videos on the right. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.